The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start out like we usually do, going across the pond, taking a look at the German DAX, also the FTSE. As you can see, they are still in downtrends. And, of course, we've had a downtrend here in the U.S. We'll cover that in just a minute. But I've also posted the chart in there for the NASDAQ, and you can see it had a downward bias that was due to come in, and that's what's happening right now. Let's go down memory lane just a little bit, folks, because we were on the show here last week, and we were talking about these patterns that we look at so intensely, I guess would be the word. But if you'll take a look at this, you'll see here, this is the E-mini S&P with, one of the largest trading things we have. The notes and bonds are much bigger, but the euro, the E-mini has about 2.7 million open interest. But you'll notice the 382 retracements as you see the lightning bolts or the ABCD patterns that are there. We have the one on Friday up there at 46.50, and you can see here on Sunday night we opened basically unchanged at 46.20, and we've got a profit objective on this ABCD, folks, at 45.08, and so far I think we've been to 45.28, and that would complete that pattern. So this is early in the morning, and the key thing here is we're setting right at one standard deviation on the Russell here at 2105, I believe. And the second thing that we're looking at there is if the S&P should happen to go, and I don't think it will, but if it goes below 4470 today, we could see a CRASH. And I know that's hard to believe, but that would be down more than one standard deviation in one day. And boy, that is a really bearish phenomenon. Now, I wanted to, as you know, I've mentioned many times over the years how much I enjoy the book Reminiscence of a Stock Operator by Edwin Lefevre. It's about Jesse Livermore, and there's a talk in there about the Santa Claus Rally. The Santa Claus Rally means from around this time, from the 20th of December till the 1st of the year, it's called the Santa Claus Rally. And the Santa Claus Rally is like this. If Santa fails to make his call, stocks will fall at Broad and Wall. In other words, at Broad Street and Wall Street. If Santa Claus Rally doesn't come, something ominous is out there. Let me give you a little bit of the statistics. Over the past, I think it's 200 years, I think 73% of the time the market has rallied between the 20th of December and the end of the year. I got that from J.C. Peretz and also from Oppenheimer, and I believe I've seen it before, but Yale Hirsch had it in his book, but it's just a seasonal pattern. But we're right at a major point here with this big ABCD. This is the first really major ABCD we've had in the E-mini S&P in a very, very long time. And you can see the one that I posted also in the NASDAQ. It's very close to those levels also. The other thing that's very important here, for the past 2 weeks, Basil, Chapman, Steve Rhodes, David White, I hope I've been including everybody. They were all talking about some of the dangerous things that we're seeing here in the stock market. I mean, it's not as if they were out there and everybody is going gaga goo goo. I mean, sure, prices are way up, but look at the difference here that we're seeing here. This is the PE ratio, just to show you what a good indicator is over long terms of making tops. But look at this. You can see the top there. The first top there was September the 3rd, 1929. Then we had the other one on October the 7th of 2000, March the 7th of 2000, and we had a big drop into 2009. And here's where we are now. That's with just the PE ratios. We've also pointed out, using some of these other market statistics, that shows you that, you're really looking at some things that could really be, very, very ominous. Just bring another one up here to show you. Look at the difference here in the Rydex stuff, folks. I mean, these are people that are putting money into the market. More money has come into stocks in 2021 than the previous 10 years. And there's nobody that's absolutely scared of this. I mean, even though we're having a bad down day, it's not a bad down day. I mean, we've had the Dow up 900 points in a day. You know, if it can go up 900 points, it can go down 900 points. The key today is that 4507 level in the S&P. If that can hold, we've got a chance for a pretty good rally in here. And it is a ABCD, and that's what we live by, folks. It's not a question that we can do anything any different. Here's another one that was a little bit scary that even Basil was talking about. Basil, I listened to Basil in the morning because it's right before the show. But look at the margin debt. I mean, look at the record margin debt that we're at right now. Holy cow. And it's really amazing. And look at the money that's left for investment. You know, see the ratio? In other words, people have all their money in stocks right now. And boy, that's let's put it this way, boys and girls. I think it's a very, very scary phenomenon, and that's why you got to be careful. You know, markets will do crazy things, and they usually do. Remember what Bernard Baruch said? It's not a stock market. It's a market for stocks, and it's there for one reason. You get suckers to buy it all the way up, and they'll buy it all the way down. Anyway, that was his quote, but we'll have to go from there. There was one other one that I wanted to bring to your attention that I think is relatively important. If you'll give me 1 second, if I can get the darn thing up here. And here is the market breadth. We got this from our good friend Jeff Hughes over at Alpha Insights, also warning about some of these things. You can see the breadth of the market has been rolling over. It's been really taken over, of course, by, you know, the FANG stocks. And, of course, the FANG stocks have got fangs in them right now because they're getting hit pretty hard. From Tesla, even magical Apple is having the same thing. Now, I need to do, since we're so close to this number here in the S&P, I want to be watching it closely because we've gotten down to 45.22. That's within 15 points of that number. So I think it's important that we remind ourselves that that's what we're looking at. That number is 45.07. Now, on the E-mini S&P, looking at that 15-minute chart, we just completed an ABCD there at 45.22. So that may be the bottom, you know, because you're looking at something that took 5 days and you're within 1% of what the actual number is. So we've got to be careful of that. And Mr. Z's asking the question, the standard deviation on the E-mini S&P today in the March contract is 44.76. If it goes below that, the option boys are in big, big trouble, folks. The key numbers, the first one is 47.08. Okay, that's 45.08. We're at 27 right now or something like that. 45.08 is what we're looking at. And then if we break below that and we go below 44.76, I can honestly say without any trouble at all that the top is in, and it's going to be in for a while. If you remember, we have been bearish on our little Trade What You See letter that we do. Bearish, let's say this. We've been warning about the potential of this top, but not been super bearish until this week. And we put that in the letter this week that we're seeing really ominous signs of what was happening. We talked about it last week in the letter, and we talked about it this week in the letter. And you're starting to see some of these things. So just be careful, folks. You know, things don't go up forever, with the exception of a few other things. But you're also seeing, you know, these Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies and blockchains are all getting hit also, which is exactly what we wanted to have happen. It's going to be a great buying opportunity, folks. Christmas is coming. Stay tuned. 877-927-6648.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted a group of charts that was sent to us by J.C. Parrots of All Star Charts, one of our guests that we have on. That young man is destined to do great things. Here is a picture of the biotech stocks, also the Chinese internet stocks, also the ARC Innovation. If you know that's I don't remember that girl's name, but she's on the tube all the time. But anyway, you look at many of these stocks peaked back in February, folks. You know, we were looking at November 5th to the 8th in the stock market, but this was 10 months earlier that many of these stocks, and they're rolling over badly, and they're getting hammered. As you can see, these are downtrends, and people don't see this. They're going to lose a lot of money. We're down for the year on all of these things. I mean, not down on the year, down on the year big time. If you're in those now, if you're in the few FANG stocks like, Microsoft and Apple and Tesla and Netflix and Amazon and Google, yeah, you're doing great. But if you're doing in any of these other stocks, these things have been rolling over. We saw that in the breadth statistics that I just posted from Jeff Hughes, and you're seeing it. This is happening. Basil, I listen to Basil every day. He's been preaching about it all the time, even though the market's been going up, and he's been long some stocks. He's also been warning people that, hey, this thing is, there's a few stocks that are not doing very well, and you want to, watch your stocks that you're in, because they don't always go with the market. You can see these stocks right here, these whole groups of different stocks that don't always follow the market. Now, I don't follow the news at all, but, this is, something is going on out there. And I know that the Federal Reserve is out there trying to help us and all that stuff. And if you believe that, I still have 2 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, here is one that we had on our watch list. If you remember, we did this one on Friday to tell you about it. This was the Treasury bond market. This is the hourly chart on the Treasury bonds, covers the last 3.5 weeks. You can see the beautiful ABCD pattern up there at the 163.12 level. The high was 163.17, and fortune favors the the prepared mind, as Louis Pasteur said. And if you look at the bonds, what they've done here is they've already completed the first profit. Oh, shut the front door and raise the rent, Larry. Hit the wrong button again, which is not unusual. But you'll notice here the bonds have gone down to the first objective here, and so that well over a $1,100 profit in that. So you certainly either you take some profits here, or at the very least put your stop at break even and try to make a little bit more on it, because it could be a major ABCD pattern. That's the key to, as we're looking at some of these, you want to be able to understand that it's not always that case. Now, I had a question. Over the weekend, someone asked me an email, do I believe in the work of Martin Armstrong, of Armstrong Economics? Of course I do. I've known of Martin since way back when I was, really getting started in Drexel in 1976. I met him in 1988. When the Foundation for the Study of Cycles opened their new office down in Orange County. It was an incredible place, and they asked 6 speakers to speak, and for some reason I was selected to talk about my book, Astro Cycles, A Trader's Viewpoint. Commander David Williams happened to be on the board, and I had only met him one time. He endorsed my book. They asked me to speak. Paul Tudor Jones asked me to speak, so I went there to speak, and Martin Armstrong was on the docket too. And so at the cocktail party on Friday night before the show, I was standing there and I was listening to Martin Armstrong give a little talk with a little group of people there, and I listened to him, and then he moved away, and there was a lovely girl at the bar, and so I tried to use my usual Italian moves that have never worked over these past 81 years, and they didn't work that night either. But I asked, she said to me, did you enjoy the talk? And I said, yeah. I said, I'll tell you this, though. I said, that's the most arrogant human being I think I've ever met in my life. And I said, I know he can do it, so he's not really being arrogant, but boy, I said, he really has a strong opinion of himself. And she said, yes, he certainly does. And I said, do you know Martin? She said, yes, I'm his fiance. You talk about pulling my foot out of the mouth. She grabbed me by the hand and she walked me over to him and introduced me to him and what I had said. And he just busted out laughing. He said, yeah, I get accused of that all the time. And that sort of broke the ice. But that was my experience, my one and only experience with Martin Armstrong. But the work that he does, folks, is superior to many, many things that I see out there. I mean, some of it's very esoteric. He gets into some really heavy mathematics, and he does a lot of, what I guess you'd call it astrophysics. But he's a smart guy. You got to pay attention when he says something. You should pay attention. Now he's wrong. He's wrong like we all are. But when he's really adamant about something, you should pay, very, very close attention to him, because he's a pretty sharp dude. Mr. Z has asked me if I would post what I think the AI is going to do here today, and that's the artificial intelligence program that I have now. This is not up to date because we were at 45:37 when I posted this, but the key time is at 11 o'clock, folks, and that's about, between 11 and 11:30 is when I was expecting that bottom to come in. Now, whether it does or not, I don't really know. So all I can tell you is that maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but we'll be able to see it. I do have to say one other thing about that thing in Orange County in 1988. Stan Harley, who's our frequent guest here, was there. Actually, Paul Volcker was there, and there was about 200 people, and they had this beautiful thing like space age. I mean, oh God, it was fabulous. And they had this beautiful screen that came down when you put your charts up, and I'm of course the old last of the techies, and I was using a screen with a projector, one of those little, you put the acetates on it, and I was showing it up, and I see that I had the audience in my hand, because they were really excited. They were asking questions. Peter Leides was there, and they were asking me a question, and I took the marker and I walked over to this beautiful screen, and I wrote on the screen. I actually wrote on the screen. that, this was a very key day, and everybody started laughing. And I said, oh my God, what have I done wrong? And then I realized I had taken this marker and put it on this real expensive drop-down screen that cost me $250 to clean and repair, but that was worth the $250. But they got a big kick out of it, and no one ever forgot it. So I guess it was my way of saying, well, I never did move into the 20th century. And folks, you know what? I ain't going there anymore either. I can tell you why. Let me tell you something, folks. If this is such a bad disease that we have, how can there be? India has 1.3 billion people, and they have lost half of the people that we've lost here. We've lost 850,000 in the United States. India has lost 450,000 with 1.3 million. And I can tell you for sure that the facilities for medical help in India is nothing like we have here. So I'm just really, I just don't understand these things. Only 5.5 million people in the world have died out of 7.3 billion. And yet it's the same thing that's on the news every day. Yeah, it's bad and people have died, but man, fentanyl. Look at fentanyl. Kills 100,000 people, and that's people that are using drugs, for God's sake. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now, folks. We got a break coming up. No guests today, so I'll be able to bring out some more information about the foreign exchange markets. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we have a caller from Philadelphia. Jeff, are you there?
Yes. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend. What's your question?
I got a real simple ABCD question. So
Okay.
this is on the AB leg, the first leg. Sometimes that leg is just a straight run from A to B, and other times the AB leg is itself an ABCD pattern. And my question is, do you have a preference?
Yes, I take the longer cycle. I take the larger A, B, C, D, and I'll look at the little one in between, depending how little it is, of course. I mean, maybe it's insignificant, maybe it's not. But if it's, say, it's a $2,000 in the AB leg, I'm going to look at both of those swings. But if it's only $50 or $100, $150, I'm not going to pay any attention to it because that's part of the slippage that you have to have. But I do look at it because it's very important. You see that all the time, actually, because if you're trading, half hour and 15-minute charts, you're going to see swings within swings, because remember, that's what Mandelbrot talked about, was that seed pattern, which is none other than that ABCD, the thunderbolt. So you'll see double thunderbolts, sometimes triple thunderbolts, and so you've got to go to from the very low to the very high. That's your AB, and then you look for what your BC leg is going to be.
So let me ask a little differently. If have you seen like a higher success rate where the AB leg has a smaller ABCD pattern in it, or it doesn't matter?
Never quantified it that way, Jeff. I really haven't. All I've done is I've tried to, keep it as simple as possible. A good example was the bond trade that we did. If you'll notice that bond trade up there at 163.10, it had a double ABCD inside of it. The fact is, I'll post it up here. You'll be able to see. You'll see that same thing. You'll see the bigger ABCD, but then you see the smaller ABCD inside. But they both come to the same level. And that's what you like to see. When they come to the same level, that validates that number is good. Okay.
So if you saw an ABCD set up and it looked good, but the run from A to B was just a straight line, that wouldn't intimidate you to take it, wouldn't?
No, it would not. Also, Jeff, I know you've got the Floor Trader's Handbook, and if you'll spend some time with that video, that 90-minute video in there, that'll all be explained in there, and all the statistics will be right there. And I think it'll just pop out at you and say, oh, that's what we were trying to say. So take a look at that, and maybe after the holidays we'll get together and you can come back on the line here and see if it helped you. But that should be a big help by just going through that Floor Trader's Handbook.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Have a great Christmas.
Happy holidays to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, Bye-bye. Folks, you bet. Folks, we have a special guest waiting for us, and that is Paula T. Webb Douglas is on the line. Paula, are you there?
I'm here. I am
Merry
here.
Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas
folks.
to you, too.
Folks, if you ever want to know a Christmas person that does everything for Christmas that can possibly be done, we have this woman on the line right now. Paula, I can honestly say, I mean, how many Christmases we've spent together, I can't even, well, probably 25.
Forever.
And
Yeah.
And some of them with my kids would come down and join us too. But God, she can cook. I don't know if you can sing or dance, but I know you can certainly cook and entertain with the best of them. Paula, what can you tell the traders over the holiday season? Anything to give them insight on make them a better trader?
Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday. And first of all, if they haven't already seen it, or even if they have, one of our favorite movies, meaning you and mine, and even Mark's, was, of course, Trading Places.
Yep.
Okay. And so it might be a good idea to watch it again and realize that you don't have to have any special education or background to be a good trader, like Eddie Murphy's character. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a streetwise kind of a punk, goofy guy, and he ends up being an excellent trader. So, for all of you out there that think, oh, I should have got an MBA, or I should do this, should do that, just get that out of your brain, because you don't need that to make a lot of money trading. You don't need any special education. All you need is a willingness to learn, to do what needs to be done.
One of my favorite quotes in that movie, when he was standing there with the Duke brothers and they were telling him what he's doing, he said, "Oh, he says, I done explained it." He says, "You guys are a couple of bookies."
Right.
I always like that.
I mean, it's real simple.
Yeah, it sure is. Our customers buy and our customers sell, and guess what? We make money on both sides. And he says, "Oh yes, you're a couple of bookies."
And the other movie, if people haven't seen it, which is even older, is Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of that movie is when the warden tells him, you know, we have a failure to communicate here. You have to get your mind right. And
that's right.
It's true. So, you know, when you have competing beliefs in your mind telling you I have to be right versus the other belief that I want to make money, you got to get your mind right, and you have to settle that argument. Do you want to be right, or do you want to make money?
Yeah.
So, you know, over the holidays, if you have time, check out those two movies because I think it might answer a lot of questions.
As a matter of fact, I do have a Strother Martin. He was the warden that said that. You know, we have a failure to communicate. He lived in Westlake Village, California, and in 1980 he was in the hospital there, and he passed away very young. And my ex-sister-in-law was one of the nurses that took care of him, and he was a real gentleman. Yeah, he's a really nice guy, but he died very, very young. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yep.
No,
anyway,
well,
listen.
Cool.
Hey, I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. And God, I miss the old days, Paula. I tell you, especially around this time of the year. You know, my goodness, I mean, it was so. And I know you've lost someone very close to you in the family recently, and I know that's tough this time of the year. I hope Bonnie's doing okay, and we'll get together. Maybe we'll do a seminar sometime over in Palm Springs or Tucson over this year sometime. But yeah, that would be. We remember we did one here in 1999 was the last one we did here, and that's when crude oil was at $10 a barrel. I remember, and we were talking about buying crude oil that day, and God, it took off like a rocket. It went up 20% in one day, which was a lot, but I remember that very much. And we had it here at the clubhouse, and we had about 20. Rich Anderson came out, and Robert St. John came out. There were a lot of famous people that came out. So maybe put some of these guys together, and we could get together and do one more, you know, for old time's sake, for sure.
I'd love it. Anytime.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Listen, happy holidays. I'll be calling to you soon, dear, but have a great Christmas, and we'll have you on right after the first of the year, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
You bet.
Thanks a lot, guys. Okay.
Thank you, Paula. All right, let's take a look. Take advantage. Yeah, you bet. Folks, take advantage. If you're having trouble, give Paula a jingle. She'll help you. You know, she doesn't. She'll give you some free information, and if you need help, she'll help you. This is the Dow Jones Transportation, folks. This thing, topped, way back in November with the rest of the market, and you see that it's been rolling over with the rest of the market, making new high. That's part of the Dow theory, was formulated by Richard Russell. And when you see a difference between the Dow Jones Transportation and the rest of the market, you have to pay attention to that. But it's a little bit different this time because of the technical stocks, and there's the one that you got to be afraid of. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for Biotech Stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart here of the E-mini S&P over the last 4 days. The high was made back there on the 16th of December up there at 47.42. We've now dropped 200 handles down to this level of 45.22, I believe we got to. And we're very close to the ABCD pattern there. And so I just suggest that if you did take those shorts, the first one came in, of course, at 46.84. We went down to 45.90. Then we got that beautiful 382 rally up there on Friday at the 46.50 level, and from 46.48 was the actual number. The high was on that rally was 46.52, so it went against it's about $250. But now you can see that it's completing this pattern down in this area, and so I would be highly suggestive of taking profits in here because I do respect the Santa Claus rally. As you know, I like numbers quite a bit, and when you've got numbers that say it's going to rally 76% of the time, and you've made a huge profit in this over the last 4 days, you got to dance with the girl to bring you to the dance, folks. So let's take that ABCD at heart and take profits in here. That's what I would be doing right now. Then we've got a couple other trades that are on. The bonds just made their first profit objective, which is pretty good. And then we have the Australian dollar, which was another one that was that turned out to be, and if you like 382, you'll be able to see we did the same thing in the Australian dollar. It rallied right up to the 382. It's dropped well over $1,000 now, folks. So I would be sure to put your stop at least at break even on this, if nothing else. So I think it's important to remember, and I'll say this every time I get a chance, and that is it's not how much money you make, folks. It's how much money you don't lose. That's the key to reminding ourselves of this. You can be wrong a lot of times, and all you have to be right once is on a big one, and that's going to pay you, really big dividends. And that's the whole key to be watching what we're doing. Now, we've got a market that we really have on our watch list, folks, and I'll be spending a lot of time over this week and then early into next week, because many times the foreign exchange markets have big moves right around the first of the year. And we want to be able to focus here on a couple of things. I've already looked at the Australian dollar. I want to bring up the euro to you right now just to give you an example of how weak the euro is, and i.e. how strong the U.S. dollar has been, and how the U.S. dollar can be strong given all the stuff that we have going on with our bond market and politics and disease and everything else. But you'll see the same ABCD patterns here on the euro that we saw in the S&P. This happens to be a daily chart because they're extended a little bit. But look at the euro, folks. We had a 382 rally back on December the 30th, and for the November the 30th, and for the past month, we have not been able to take that out. And last night, we got all the way down to 123.36. Today, we rallied up all the way up to 130. And that happened to be a beautiful ABCD pattern right there. And it's now backed off from that level. But the thing is that something big is getting ready to happen with the U.S. dollar. Now, we're going to be focusing on that through the eyes of the euro. Of course, that's 53% of the value of the dollar index is in the euro. But when we take a look at the euro on the daily, which we've just done, now we want to do is switch over, and we're going to take a look at it on the weekly. And I do this when these numbers are coming together. Now, you'll notice here the 61% retracement, the Fibonacci number comes in at 1163. We're trading at 1290 right now. So if we can get this down about $1,000 to about 111.16, you don't have to risk very much at that point. And not only that, but this is a weekly chart, folks. It's taken 3.5 months to get down here. So that's actually you've got a higher bottom in here from 2017, 2020, and now you're setting right at a potential for a really easy trade. So that's the key that I'm watching, and I watch these things around the first of the year, these foreign exchange markets, folks, because they really do move around that time of the year. I don't know what cyclicality's in there or not, but by golly, they're there quite a bit. That's the main thing to remind ourselves of that. Okay, now let's move on here. Oh, by the way, I want to thank everybody that sent in a little donation for the folks down there in Kentucky. It was very helpful. Everybody appreciated it, and I certainly did. So I'm glad you. Yeah, and by the way, as I mentioned, I matched whatever you guys put in. So let's move over here and take a look here at this Japanese yen. Now, this is part of the reason why pattern recognition is so much fun, folks. What we're doing here is we're looking at the dollar versus the yen. It's one of the largest of the cross rates. This goes back over the last 2.5 months. You can see the left shoulder, which is a head and shoulders pattern, the head, which is coming in around that November 26th time. And if this ABCD is correct, you'll see that it should come in around 114.74, which was equal to what it was way back on October the 20th. So you have the left shoulder and the right shoulder being equal. You have an ABCD pattern. You have the high between the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder are equal. That is an absolute perfect trade setup. And we are following this one with great anticipation, because if it gets there, that could be a really, really big move for a very, very small amount. And the key is we have to wait until it gets there. There's nothing to do until you get to that point. And believe me, this pattern might fail 3 times before it gets there, but that's what we have to be watching for. Just like we were watching for the potential top in the stock market because of all the things that were happening with the divergences. It happened to be right. You didn't have to risk very much. Now it's giving you a pretty good payoff. So that's really what you're trying to do, is to narrow it down so that you're able to see some of these. Another one that looks like it's going to go down a lot here, and if it keeps going on, what's going on over in the UK, the same thing is going on. You'll see here the British pound has been incredibly weak, been very good to us. You can see the double top that we made back here on June the 7th. A beautiful double top. We took out the previous high from February by $25. and then proceeded to drop about $6,000. You can see the 135 pattern from August through October, where we have lower tops. I mean, my goodness, you're trading with the trend. And then, of course, on the 25th, that triggered in, and the market broke down all the way down, and we're waiting to resell it up here around the 134.17 level if we can get that rally to complete sometime here before or just after the first of the year. Those are the ones that we have set up. We have the euro, the Australian dollar, and also the Canadian dollar. Unfortunately, I don't have the Canadian dollar in my group today because I had too much to do and I didn't want to overload you with too much, but we'll do the Canadian dollar at another time. So we'll be watching it close. Remember these figures, folks. We got a break coming up here, but we've got to watch that number of 44.70. If we get below that in the S&P, folks, that's panic time, because the option players have to come in and protect themselves. They cannot expose themselves to disaster, and below 44.70 in the S&P would be disaster. So you've got to be, very, very careful of that. That's the main thing that you want to remind yourself, that number of 44.70. That's the key level. So far, our low has only been at 44.21.5. 45.21.5. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, folks, I want to focus the last few minutes here on two charts. One is for Microsoft. You can see here that we're breaking below that parallel channel line. We're just technicians here, folks. We don't look at fundamentals, so that's a sign that something is not right. We've done this, and we're going to look at the one we looked at Friday because this is the one that I thought would be the most important, and so far it has been. Look at the rally that we had on Thursday and Friday where the Apple can only go to the 382 retracement after making the ABCD pattern. Folks, we've broken down now. We're below that level. That sets up an ABCD pattern on Apple to 161. I don't know where the last price was, but if we get above 173, this would certainly be wrong. But the fact that we made that 382 retracement and it took a full day to get there, I mean, even though it was bullish coming off of that pattern, right at a 50% retracement, perfect ABCD, and, they don't always work, but by golly, when they fail, they fail big time. So we're failing right now. This pattern that we look at, we're below that level. That level was at 169, and I know we were lower than that in the Apple. That's telling us that something is certainly not right. I believe tomorrow we are going to have Tim Bost as our guest. I haven't firmed it up yet because it's Christmas holidays. And then we have someone else. I think we have Stan Harley on Wednesday. And then Thursday, this only half a day, so I'll just make something up. Or we'll look at what's going on with the markets and see if the Santa Claus rally has really started. So we'll watch it closely for sure. The one thing we want to do, folks, is live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And make sure you do something for your neighbors, because I can tell you from here in Tucson, there is a lot of problems around there, that's for sure. And, by the way, you want the best trade of the year? Buy the Tigers dollars. If you want to support us here and listen to us, what we talk about every morning, buy the Tigers dollars now. Give yourself a big discount, and you save money for the whole rest of the year. You get up to a 50% discount on it, folks. You can't beat it. I mean, it's like a broken drum. You just can't beat it. Let's make sure we do that. We got David White, Steve Rhodes, and Tom O'Brien coming up next. See you tomorrow, folks. May God bless.